Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and I have a super yummy keto breakfast for you guys. This is a keto eggs Benedict. It is so good, yummy. You guys will love it. Let's get into the video. So the first thing I'm going to make is going to be the 90-second bread for the base of the eggs Benedict. So you guys have seen this before. I've showed this to you a few times. So the way I make the 90-second bread, I just put all the ingredients into a microwave safe bowl. So I have 1 tablespoon of butter that's been melted, and I always just melt it right into the bowl. 3 tablespoons of almond flour, a half of a teaspoon of baking powder, 1 egg. You can put salt in there, but I use salted butter, so I don't put salt if I use salted butter. But if you don't use salted butter, go ahead and add salt. And then you're just going to give that a good stir. I like to use like one of these bowls that I use for my meal prep. It just works perfect. So once you have everything all mixed up, make sure you get all that almond flour mixed up. Then you're going to put it in the microwave for 90 seconds. And then I just let it cool until I'm done with the rest of this recipe. And then I will show you what we will do with it next. Okay, so next up we're going to make the hollandaise sauce. I found this hollandaise sauce off of a Peace, Love, and Low Carb, Kendra Holly, the same one that has the Craveable Keto Cookbook. So I did mine a little bit different. I used all of her same ingredients. So in my container here, I am putting, I'm using a tall glass because I'm going to be using my immersion blender. So if you want to use your immersion blender, get a tall glass, put in 4 egg yolks, and then to that you want to go ahead and add in 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. And then I just put a dash of cayenne pepper, a dash of some hot sauce. And again, if you're not using salted butter, go ahead and use some salt, but I'm using salted butter. So a half of a cup of melted butter that you have allowed to cool to room temperature. And then you're just going to take your immersion blender and just blend it up. Now, in the instructions that Kendra has on her website, she does have you using a double boiler, but this is the same way I make my mayo, and it works out perfect every time. And I did test this out, and it works perfect. So if you have an immersion blender, this is definitely the way to go. But do look at the link of the description box. I will have a link to the original recipe for this, and you can, if you don't have an immersion blender, you can see how you are supposed to do it with the double boiler. Okay, so now we're going to start putting this all together. So first I need to start boiling some water for the poached eggs. And then in my pan here, I'm just taking 4 slices of Canadian bacon. I'm just going to heat those up until they get nice and crispy. And then once those are to your desired, crispiness, I like to get mine just a little bit crispy. You want to add in 1 tablespoon of butter to your same pan, and then you're going to take your 90-second bread that you've cut in half, and then you're just going to heat up and toast up both sides. And now that the water is starting to boil, I'm going to go ahead and it's on a simmer. I brought it to a boil, put it into a simmer, and then now I'm just adding in my eggs. I do add a little bit of vinegar to my water, but I don't know. I don't really have a trick to how to make the best poached eggs. I've just never had any issues with it. They just come out good every time. So I just cook them until they appear to be, the whites of the eggs appear to be all done. And now time to assemble our eggs Benedict. So I have the 2 slices of the 90-second bread. I'm going to add 2 slices on each side with the Canadian bacon. And then on top of that, I'm going to add in my poached eggs. And then I'm also adding a little bit of onion salt, some crushed red pepper, and then I'm just going to sprinkle on some of that hollandaise sauce. You guys, so good. Doesn't that just look fantastic? I did end up serving mine with a little bit of sriracha on top too, because I just love hot sauce with eggs Benedict. You must try this recipe. It is so good, so easy. I'm going to have another version of this recipe coming out probably next weekend. I'm going to try it. I just didn't have time to work on it this weekend. So stay tuned for another version of Eggs Benedict. But in the meantime, you got to try this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do so. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.